Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah. A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Flying with the Foam on HJN. So now, I'd just like to go ahead and take a quick moment to reflect upon the many things that I've done here on HJN. From non-stick pans to celebrities to many things that were indeed important to talk about. I've certainly made quite a killing here in HJN. With more than 650 episodes, it's safe to say that things are only going to continue getting better from here on out. So, let me just say that this is episode 652. So a big 652 is certainly going to come along with a big blaster that I had randomly picked out. And what is that blaster, you may ask? Well, lots of blasters I gotta talk about this week. But anyways, this is it. Of course you remember when I talked about the Alpha Hawk and the Raptor Strike and the Jupiter and other blasters here and there that could barely fit in the frame. This certainly fits that category because I have to hold it all the way up to the chest just to be able to get it to fit in the frame. Well, anyways, this blaster is certainly not like many others that we've gotten from the Zombie Strike series as a whole. This blaster is more likely the combination of a Zombie Strike blaster and a modulus blaster. Because look at all these attachments. This is the Scravenger, in case you weren't aware of it. This was Nerf's attempt in bringing back the Sling Fire into more recent, releases. And it certainly seems like they managed to get that part right in many ways possible. But once again, look at all of these accessories. You have a detachable stock that also includes another blaster, but guess what? It's missing. So, that blaster is going to be its own separate review, which I will in fact talk about in a little while. That's why it's not here in the stock, so that's pretty much what the stock is. And then of course you have yourself a little scope that also doubles as a holder for your extra magazine. And of course, this is what I've been talking about before. If you know, this type of magazine is specifically made for the Scravenger itself. 12 dart mags with a light gray color and especially engraved Zombie Strike logos and detailing and plastic molding that is meant to mimic the sort of theme that Zombie Strike represents. Then of course you got Nerf logos on here just to let you know that these are in fact Nerf magazines and not Buzzbee or Dart Zone or anything else of the sort. So that's pretty much your scope and clip holder. And then of course you have yourself a long barrel extension, which is right here. Almost kind of works like a scope that you could use for your eye if you wanted to. And then finally down here, this is a flashlight. A green colored flashlight. Yeah, look at that. That is one beautiful sort of green beam that you can get pretty much anywhere. So, that right there is a grand total of 5 accessories. An extra magazine, a scope and a clip holder, a stock which can hold an extra blaster on it, well, a jolt-like blaster in any ways, which I will talk about later, plus the barrel and a flashlight. But this is just the blaster itself that I'm mainly going to be talking about. The Scravenger itself. I tell you, the design of this thing alone is certainly pretty enjoyable to look at. It really gives you those sort of vibes that you can get out of a lot of Zombie Strike blasters, but this one in particular has a lot of different things behind it. Quite a bunch of stories here. Because this is in fact the big center of what was known as the survival system, which was around during 2017, 2018, and 2019. I've talked about the nail biter already and its accessories, even though I didn't really show them on camera, so that was kind of a wasted opportunity. But hey, this more than makes up for it. All the Scravenger's components, all put together on this blaster. That more than makes up for it. But I will say that its functionality is also something pretty nice to put together. So that's already 3 points for it. Its appearance, its modular connectivity that you could put together if you so chose to do so, and its functions. Because after all, like I said earlier, this was in fact the resurgence of the iconic Slingfire, where it uses lever action. So this blaster itself is already pretty nice for utilizing the usage of Slingfire related lever action. Lever action. Lever action. Hope that becomes a meme someday. But anyways, other than the fact that it uses its traditional sort of, well, one-shot lever action, I should also imply that there actually is a second mode that Hasbro has decided to equip into this, where if you put in another magazine, there's this little switch that you can see right here. Just flip it over and like that, not even touching the trigger, you can apparently get slam fire on this thing. Now that is awesome. Never have we ever had a blaster like that uses lever action but also utilizes slam fire without even having to pull on the trigger while doing so. This is in fact the first ever innovation that we've ever gotten of this magnitude. And I really gotta say, this blaster certainly does get a lot of points for just that. It gets at least maybe 6 points. So in total, that's 8 points that I give to this thing. But its overall rating goes even higher than that. And that's something I can ultimately be proud of, because this is an amazing blaster for what it is. The Zombie Strike series has taken on the usage of both bringing back the Slingfire, utilizing slam fire on a lever action blaster, and trying to get some modulus related dilemma by bringing it together with the Zombie Strike series. This survival system blaster certainly does do all those things in a very unique and impressive way. So that alone is what I have to say about this blaster. It is just amazing for what it is. Lots of attachments, lots of nice looks to it, and certainly lots of very clever, unique, and impressive characteristics in terms of its functionality and its firing. So of course, well, completely out of darts now. But as a little bonus, let's go ahead and pretty much get everything back together, because I feel like it's about time that I go ahead and close off this episode. So, with that being said, I'm delighted to say that this is in fact probably one of my favorite blasters of all time, alongside several blasters that I've had recently, like the Ultra 3 and the Desolator, which I will actually be talking about very soon, so expect that review to happen sometime later on. But until that happens, there's a lot to look for. So if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.